It's time for the Fast RMX review for the Nintendo Switch. So, when I first heard confirmations about Nintendo's newest console, then dubbed NX, I was hopeful for a successor to F-Zero GX. Then, when I heard this game was a launch title with the Switch, I was honestly saddened, because just by the trailer and screenshots, this looked to be an F-Zero wannabe, and that was, or is, the case, and I don't see Nintendo or even a third party creating a new F-Zero game, because we have this. However, now that I've played it, can it hold its own to F-Zero, or does it crash and burn? Let's find out. If you can't tell by the footage, or my first paragraph into the video, Fast RMX is a racer, a futuristic racer, an insanely high-speed futuristic racer. This game is actually an expanded version of the original, Fast Racing Neo for the Wii U, which I'd never even heard of up until a few weeks ago. I think you could compare this game to the original, how Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is to Mario Kart 8. The game has all the tracks, including the DLC, plus adds 6 new courses. What makes this racer unique is the different colored boost panels in relation to your machine's own color. You can change from blue to yellow and vice versa by pressing X, and if you hover over a blue panel while you're blue, you'll receive a speed boost. Same goes for yellow and yellow. However, if you're the wrong color, you'll actually lose speed. There's also blue and yellow ramps and tunnels throughout some tracks for a nice variety of boost options. If you want to boost without a panel, ramp, or tunnel, you'll need to collect orbs hovering around each track. These will fill up your boost gauge, which, of course, will allow you to boost anytime you like. Legendary! Now, I thought F-Zero GX had a great sense of speed. The same could be argued for Extreme G Racing, but this game blows those two out of the water. Look at this! And this is just on quote-unquote easy mode. What I mean is, there are 3 levels of speed you can race in: subsonic, supersonic, and hypersonic. In the beginning, you only have access to subsonic races, but once you complete every track and placing at least 3rd on those tracks, supersonic and hypersonic will become available respectively. Now, even in subsonic mode, don't think you'll get first place every time. The game demands more and more of your skill as you progress up in speeds. This is where the different racing machines come into play. Each one has different stats, with the differences being acceleration, top speed, and boost. You'd think handling would be included, but it's not. However, it's a passive stat, you could say, because the more top speed you have, the less handling you have. And like in most, if not all racers when it's like this, my favorite machines are ones with high acceleration and handling in lieu of speed. Problem is, the AI is extremely competitive, as it should be, don't get me wrong, but it makes it very difficult to win even 3rd place on some of the tracks when racing with supersonic or hypersonic speeds. So, if you covet that first place glory, you're gonna have to either be perfect on your turns and boosts, or learn how to play with more speed and less handling. However, one thing that makes it even more difficult, and in a borderline unfair way, is the track designs themselves. Now, not all of them are like this, but some tracks are designed in a way where you have less than a second to react. Like this here. I'm about to go through this boost tunnel and... why is the next piece of track so far to the left? It doesn't look that difficult, and once you play it over and over you'll of course memorize it, but still, that's a dirty design. Now, perhaps it's my own fault. I know my skills and reaction times aren't perfect, so maybe it's just me. Did the AI controlling my machine after I finished the race crash into the track? See, it's not just me. The design on some of these tracks need to be polished. Sometimes it's not the track though, as there's very little leniency when it comes to coming in contact with hazards, either on the track or near it. Sometimes, though, it's just the side of the track. That is ridiculous. Now, don't get me wrong, I know I sound like I don't enjoy the game, but that's far from the truth. The game is really fun, especially when playing multiplayer. Local co-op is fun, and online would be fun if people played it, that is. Seriously, I waited like 10 minutes waiting for someone to show up, and it was just this guy. And I know it's not my internet connection. I don't live in the dinosaur era of technology that I used to 8 years ago. I tried several times, but only Billy showed up. Good on you, Billy. The graphics look awesome. This is what I was hoping a new F-Zero game would look like. However, I noticed when playing just in tablet mode, the half second after the track welcome screen would exit, the game looked pixelated, like for just a fraction of a second it would go all 360p, but afterwards it was fine. But that half second is unacceptable! The controls work just fine, however I feel like the boost button and the color change button should have been switched, X to R and R to X. You can change it in the options, but stupid me didn't think to check it before it was too late. My brain already settled on the dev's default layout, and I can't change it back! I thought it was really cool how the announcer for this game is also the announcer for F-Zero GX. Ah well, if we never get another F-Zero game, this will be a nice nod to the franchise. Oh, and also this machine. The music was disappointing, I'm sorry to say. It fits well with the theme of the game, the fast, upbeat melodies and such, but it's forgettable. No song is memorable. Even as I type this, I'm trying to remember one song from the game, but I can't. If you really wanted this game to be like F-Zero, then you need to play Hero Mode. Instead of your boost gauge being just a boost gauge, it's also your life meter as well. You'll need to play intelligently and conservatively if you want to win. I like the fact that Time Attack mode was a bit different than most racing games I've played. Instead of you completing a set of laps, then racing against yourself to beat your time, you play against the developer's times, which, I gotta say, is pretty challenging. If you're looking for a racer for the Switch that's just a bit faster, just a bit faster, not too much, but a bit faster than Mario Kart Deluxe, then Fast RMX is not for you. Now if you want something comparable to F-Zero GX, this is for you. If you don't mind a handful of flaws in the tracks and love competitive artificial intelligence, then fasten your seatbelts. This is one fast, beautiful, and fun racer. This game gets a 3.75 out of 5 with the title of good.
You reached